Hello there, yogis and non-yogis and potentially soon-to-be yogis. My name is Catherine and this is Metta Mind Muse, and today we've got a practice for bedtime. We've got a practice for relaxation. So as you can see, I've got my candles out here. I'm feeling rather cozy, and the idea is to take it down a notch, to get rid of your problems and any tension points from the day. So maybe you've been to work today and maybe you've still got work brain, maybe it's going 1,000,001 miles an hour, thoughts just racing here, there and everywhere about what you need to do the next day. Maybe you've just been at home and you've had a to-do list as long as your arm, lots of different things that you needed to do. Maybe you've been productive or maybe you've not. Maybe you have trouble going to sleep at night, so actually falling asleep. Or maybe, you don't have any trouble going to sleep, but what you do have trouble with is waking up feeling refreshed in the morning. So perhaps you're not, getting into that really rested state. So what this practice is designed to do today is to put you in touch with the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the opposite of the fight or flight response, which is part of your nervous system. So moving away from one part of the nervous system that you experience probably predominantly throughout the day, which is that fight or flight, action, do this, do that, boom, boom, boom. Society's always telling us you need to do this to be, a decent human being, you need to do this, that and the other. And, maybe, but you also need to take it down a notch. You need to balance it out. And what you need to do is to connect in with that parasympathetic nervous system. So like I say, rest and digest. So it's the opposite of cortisol and adrenaline and other hormones and chemicals racing around your body. Instead, you take it down a notch. It's all about making the exhale longer than the inhale. So let's do that first. What I'd like you to do is to come into any seated position that feels good to you. So I'm in your standard cross-legged position here, which is called easy pose or sukhasana in Sanskrit. But you can have, you can sit in a chair, you can have your feet flat on the ground if you prefer, or you could even prop yourself up against a wall if you want to. You don't have to consciously think about lifting up through the spine if it doesn't feel good right now. You honour your body and where you're at right now and where your mind is at. Sometimes, you're not feeling to go, oh yeah, let's get real yogi-like. Sometimes it's just like, and if it's one of those days for you, I understand. We all have them, no matter how many years you've been doing yoga. So come into that seated position, and if you can, if it feels right, grow tall in your spine, nice and long. And on your exhale, ground down through your sitting bones. Ground down through the hips. Allow the exhale to naturally open up the muscles for you, so you're not forcing anything at any time. With every inhale, maybe grow a little bit taller. Feel the expansion in the body, bringing in nourishment into the lungs, into every single cell. And as you exhale, allow your shoulders to relax. Inhale, maybe you grow a little bit taller, nice long neck. And exhale, allow the whole body to relax. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of abdominal breathing to begin with. So I know that we all know how to breathe. We've managed to get to this point in life without really having to consciously think about how to breathe. However, when you consciously start to become aware of an unconscious process, such as breathing, then you can become aware of other unconscious processes that are happening within the mind and the body and the emotions as well. But we won't get into that at this stage. Let's just think about taking it down a notch. Sorry about the whistle there, hopefully that didn't come across too loud. Okay, so what I'd like you to do, grow tall. Take a deep breath in. Imagine that you're breathing into the very bottom of your lungs, so allow your belly to expand. And then as you breathe out, allow your belly to naturally draw inwards. Breathe in into the belly or into the bottom of the lungs. And breathe out, allowing all of the air to be released. Naturally drawing the belly in. Breathe into the belly. Maybe you place one hand on the belly so that you can feel this process. And exhale, allow the belly and the whole body to relax. Inhale into the belly. Allow it to expand. And exhale, imagine you're breathing out from the bottom of your lungs all the way up to the top. Breathing into the belly, allow that breath to travel down. Breathing out of the belly, allow that breath to travel up. Inhale into the belly. And exhale, allow the belly to draw in, allow that belly, that breath to travel upwards. Inhale. Feel how the air feels in your nostrils as it enters. And exhale, feel how it feels to release. Inhale, maybe the air is slightly cooler as you breathe in. And then as you breathe out, after that air has travelled all the way through your body or through your lungs, maybe it's a little bit warmer. Maybe now you'd like to close your eyes or gently lower the eyelids. No need to look at the video at this stage. Breathing into the belly and breathing out of the belly. So breathing into the bottom of the lungs, allowing the belly to expand as the diaphragm, that thin sheet of muscle that separates the chest and the abdominal cavity, as that goes down, it's expanding your abdominal contents out. And then exhale, your abdominal contents draw in as your diaphragm, that thin sheet of muscle, goes upwards. Inhale into the bottom of your lungs. And exhale all of the air out of your lungs. And we're going to do that one more time. Inhale. And exhale, this time through the mouth. Let it go. Okay. So now what I'd like you to do is to ground down through your sitting bones once again. Grow tall in your spine. And on an exhale, allow your shoulders to relax down. Now we're going to take another inhale. I'd like you to bring your shoulders up towards your ears. Create a tiny little bit of tension there. And then exhale, bring those shoulders down and back so that you're opening up the chest. You've got some external rotation in the shoulders. Inhale, bring your shoulders up towards the ears. And exhale, down and back. Feel free to breathe in through the nostrils unless there's any congestion. Otherwise, through gently parted or pursed lips. And again, inhale, bring those shoulders up towards the ears. A tiny little bit of tension there, a little bit of a squeeze. And then exhale, down and back, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Okay, and then take a moment to rest, check in with the breath once again. Breathing into the belly and out of the belly. Okay, now let's do some gentle neck stretches here. Don't know about you guys, but I tend to carry the weight of the world on my shoulders. At least in my mind, obviously I'm not actually carrying the weight of the world on my shoulders, but sometimes it feels like it, and you maybe feel the same, and in which case you've probably got some tension in your shoulders. You might get tension in your upper back, maybe even into the chest, into the neck, maybe even into the back of the head. Maybe you get some headaches from that too. So to tackle that, what I'd like you to do is to grow tall in your spine. Take an inhale. And then you're going to take an exhale, bring your chin towards your chest. Now take an inhale, look up towards the ceiling, bringing the chin upwards. Feel a stretch in the front of the throat. And exhale, bring the chin down to the chest. Inhale, look up. Nice long spine here, so you're not allowing the head to drop backwards. And then exhale to lower, look down. One more time, inhale to look up. And exhale, this time you look forward. Okay, now by the way, if you have any kyphosis or you suffer from your neck sort of jutting forward or hunched shoulders, you might, instead of looking down, you might want to just look forward instead. So we'll do that one more time. Take an inhale, look up. And exhale, either look forward or look down. One more time, inhale. And exhale, either look down or look forward. Then coming back into center, take another inhale. And then we're going to exhale to look to one side, doesn't matter which. Feeling a stretch in the side of the neck. Inhale to come back to center. And then exhale to the other side. Inhale, come back to center. Now bring your hands out to the side. So whilst we're doing these neck stretches here, it's a good idea sometimes to have your arms out to the side so that your shoulders are, you know, in the midline as opposed to jutting forward, because that can sometimes affect that neck movement. So have your arms out to the side, and that sort of encourages you to bring those shoulders slightly back, if that makes sense. So take another inhale, grow tall in your spine, and then exhale to look to one side. Can you feel any difference in that stretch? Inhale, come back to the center, and then exhale to the other side. How does that feel in the side of your neck now? Can you feel it go into the shoulders? Inhale, come back to center. And then this time, what I'd like you to do, keeping the hands out, you're going to take the right hand now, place it on top of your head, and then you're going to gently bring your right ear down to your right shoulder. Now you can either keep your left hand on the ground here, or you can bring it out to the side. And in which case, maybe you straighten through that arm and bring in the fingers back towards the elbows here so that you're pushing into an imaginary wall with the left hand. You're just going to gently guide the right ear down towards the right shoulder. Play about with the position of that left arm. Find that sweet spot for you. It's going to be different for everybody. So you should feel a really good stretch all the way down from the ear, all the way through the neck, the shoulder, the whole of the arm, into the wrist, into the fingers. Don't forget to breathe. Nice long inhales. Imagine breathing into the side of the neck. Long exhales. Allow your shoulder to drop down. One more inhale. And a long exhale. And then gently bring it back to center. Reset the arms. And then let's do the other side. So taking the left hand to the top of the head. Bringing the right arm to the floor at the side of you. And then we're going to gently bring the left ear down towards the left shoulder. Either you keep the right hand where it is, or you bring the arm out to the side, so a slight lift in the arm. So maybe pushing into that imaginary wall there with the hand. So feeling that stretch all the way from the right ear, down through the neck, into the shoulder, the arm. Nice long inhales into the neck. Long, steady exhales allow the shoulder to drop down. Play about with the position of the arm. And then gently bring it back to center. Okay, just a couple more shoulder shrugs now to reset those shoulders. Inhale up. And exhale down. Inhale, bring the shoulders up towards the ears. And exhale down. Lovely. Okay, now we're going to do a seated cat and cow here. So feel free to move the legs if you want to, just for a moment. If you're not used to being in a cross-legged position, maybe you do a couple of foot stretches here. Don't worry too much about any rules. We're trying to get away from rules and guidebooks and you must do this, that and the other. Yoga is about connecting in with your body and what you need. Connecting in with your intuition, a sort of animalistic intuition. So I'm bringing the toes back towards the knees here, the feet back towards the knees and then down. And then maybe you do a couple of rotations here in the ankles as well. So releasing any tension from being in that cross-legged position, and then we'll go in the opposite direction here. Cool. And then when you're ready, come back into that seated position. If you're in a chair, your feet are flat on the ground at this point, with your knees bent and your hands on your knees. And your feet and your knees will be hip-width apart if you're in the chair. If not, what I'd like you to do is to come into that cross-legged position. Place your hands on your knees. We're going to take an inhale and we're going to bring the belly forward, followed by the chest. Chest lifts up towards the ceiling. Chin lifts here as well. And your shoulders are drawing slightly backwards here. So shoulder blades are down away from the ears, nice long neck. Shoulder blades draw towards one another. And then you're going to take an exhale, you're going to round the shoulders up towards the ears and then forwards as you tuck your tailbone under, belly draws in towards your spine and you tuck your chin into your chest. So you should feel a really good stretch here in the back of the body, into the neck, into the head. And then take an inhale, draw your belly forwards, followed by the chest. Chin is lifted and feel that stretch throughout the whole of the front of the body now. And then take an exhale, rounding the shoulders up towards the ears and forward. Tailbone tucks under, belly draws in, chin to chest. Feel a stretch in the back of the body. Inhale, come forward. Feel that stretch throughout the front of the body here, into the throat as well. Maybe even into the jaw. Take an exhale, moving in the opposite direction, stretching the back of the body. Inhale, come forward. Coming into cow pose here, seated cow. And then exhale, coming into cat pose. So think about an angry cat or a cat that's just about to pounce, how they have an arched back, yeah? And then one more time, inhale, come forward. Really feel that stretch through the front of the body, lengthen through the spine, shoulders down away from your ears. Exhale, now bring the shoulders up towards the ears and forward as you stretch through the back of the body. Lovely, and then inhale, come back to center. Okay, so we're going to do a seated twist here now. So what I'd like you to do is to take another inhale, grow a little bit taller in your spine. And then you're going to take your left hand, bring it to the right knee, bring your right hand to the floor behind you, and you're going to twist to the right. So most of this twist is in the upper and middle back, as opposed to the lower. Stay where you are, take another inhale, grow a little bit taller in the spine. And then exhale, maybe you twist a little bit more, only if it feels good. So you're drawing your right shoulder blade back as your left shoulder blade slightly comes forward here, looking over your shoulder. And then inhale, come back to center. And then we'll do the same the other side. So taking that right hand, you're going to bring it to your left knee, bring your left hand behind you. Then you're going to twist to the left. Now stay where you are, grow a little bit taller in your spine, Chest is slightly lifted here. And then another exhale, maybe you draw your belly button in towards your spine here as you draw your left shoulder blade back and your right shoulder blade slightly forward. So you should feel a real good stretch through your spine into your shoulders. And then inhale, come back to center. Lovely. Then we're going to do the same again, but now we're going to cross the legs in the opposite direction. So I'd like you to take the opposite foot and place that one in front. So that just makes sure that we're sort of evening things out in the hips and the knees here. By the way, if at any point it feels too much, you can do this twist with your legs forward, and you're basically doing it like this instead. Okay, or you can do it in a chair, whatever feels good to you. So I'd like you to, if you're in that cross-legged position, ground down through your hips. And then take an inhale, grow tall in your spine, chest is slightly lifted here. And then take an exhale, bring your left hand to your right knee, opposite hand behind, twist into the right. Stay where you are, take another inhale, grow a bit taller. And as you exhale, draw your belly button in towards your spine as you look over your right shoulder. Inhale, come back to center. And then exhale, take it to the other side. So right hand, left knee, opposite hand behind you. Twist into the left. Really feel that stretch through the whole spine here. The shoulders, the neck. Take another inhale, grow a little bit taller. Create some space between the vertebrae. And then take an exhale. Maybe you twist a little bit more, releasing all the tension in the spine, in the shoulders, the neck. And then inhale, come back to center. Lovely. And then bring your arms out to the side. We're going to do a side bend. So we're going to start with the left arm first. And the reason for this is because you've got your descending colon on the left. So I always like to start with this side, contracting this side of my body first, and then contract that side because it really helps with digestion. But let's not get into the poo talk at this stage, eh? Let's keep it not crude, eh, Catherine? Take it back a notch, all right? So bringing the arms out to the side. I love a good poo talk, sorry guys. So bringing the arms out to the side. Take a nice long inhale, grow tall in your spine, and a long exhale. Now on your next inhale, flip your left palm up towards the ceiling and then raise the arm up overhead. Walk your right arm out to the side. Try not to touch any candles here if you've got some. And you can either walk the arm out and reach the left arm over, or you can come down onto that right elbow if your body allows it at this moment in time. Gaze is forwards here. So you should feel a really good stretch throughout the whole of the left side body here. Down into the hip, throughout the whole of the side of the body, the armpit, all the way through the arm, all the way up towards the hands. Now I'd like you to play about here with this stretch. So just invite a little bit of free flowing movement here in time with your breathing. So don't worry too much about what I'm doing and the timing of everything. Just take your time here. Maybe you're up here, in which case that's absolutely fine. Don't worry about coming onto your elbow. We're just going to invite some gentle bobbing movements. So inhale, maybe you look up towards the ceiling, ease off the stretch. Exhale, maybe you look down towards the floor, bringing the arm slightly over and a little bit further down. Inhale, maybe you look up, open up the chest a little. And then exhale, bringing the arm over a little bit more, maybe you look down. And then take an inhale and gently rise back up. Reset yourself. Take a moment. Feel free to invite some free movement in here, because why not? And then we're going to go the other side. So flipping the right arm up, or right palm of your hand up. Going to take an inhale, raise that right arm over, walk your left arm out to the side, and like I say, either you're here, which is absolutely fine, or maybe you come all the way down onto the elbow. In which case, see if you can really reach the right arm over towards the left side of the room. See if you can ground down through that right hip here. And then let's invite some free sort of flowing, bobbing energy here. So inhale to ease off, look up towards the ceiling. And then exhale to gently reach over. Maybe look down towards the floor or in front. Inhale, open up. Exhale to reach a little bit further. And again, inhale. And exhale, really reaching the arm over, feeling that stretch through the right side of the body as you contract through the left. On your next inhale, gently rise up. And then exhale, bring your arm down. Once again, bring in a little bit of free movement here. And then I'd like you to bring your knees in towards your chest, give them a good hug. Grow nice and tall in your spine here. And then as you exhale, imagine pushing your thighs in towards your belly and your belly in towards your thighs. So this is great for digestion once again. So ready for the morning or for tonight, whatever your schedule allows for. Inhale, grow a little bit taller. And exhale. A little bit of contraction here in the belly, so maybe you draw your belly in towards your spine. Inhale, grow tall. And then exhale, maybe you'd like to fold your upper body over your knees. Now, if you're in a chair, your knees are bent here, your feet are flat on the ground. And see if you can gently bring your head down towards your knees or only as far as feels comfortable. You might want to use a block between your knees and your head. I'll demonstrate this at another time, so do bear with me. Only do what feels right to you and whatever your body will allow at this time. So the idea is we're stretching through the back of the body here as we're closing off in the front of the body. Now take another inhale, rise up, so gaze is forward now. And then bring your hands to the outer edges of your knees. As you take an inhale, bring your knees out towards the sides, bring your feet together, and we're coming into butterfly pose or cobblers. So, if this feels too much in the hips, if you're quite tight in the hips, then you can walk your feet forward. So it's more of a triangular or diamond shape, more like actually. And you can even use props below your knees here as well. So if you need to use blocks, in fact, I'll demonstrate this, bear with me. I've only got one to hand, my other ones are over there and I don't want to take too much time away from the video, but you can place blocks just underneath your knees here. So whilst you're building that flexibility in the hips and the knees, feel free to use those blocks. There is no shame whatsoever. We all started somewhere, and believe me, I was like the Tin Man when I began. Wow, it rhymes. So feel free to do what you need to do. So we are now in cobblers or butterfly pose. If you're in butterfly pose, your heels are a little bit further in towards your groin, and maybe you'd like to gently flap the knees up and down. So we're inviting some openness in the inner thighs and the groin here, as we're also activating the outer hips. If you've got your feet slightly more forwards here, you can stay in a passive stretch if you want to, or maybe you'd like to use your hands to gently guide those knees out to the side. If that feels too much, feel free to do one leg at a time. So using the breath here, being mindful of the position of the spine as well. Nice long spine. And with every exhale, notice how your hips open up a little bit more each time. Every inhale you feel the expansion, nourishing energy, bringing oxygen to where you need it. With every exhale, releasing tension in the form of carbon dioxide. If you're you love your science. I like me a bit of science. But I also like spirituality, the stuff that science hasn't quite proven yet. Nice long inhales, filling those hips, inviting some nourishing energy in, bringing in relaxation, and for us ladies especially, we have our legs crossed quite a lot of the time. We're taught in society to, close it off, to have your legs crossed because that's more proper. Well, forget that for now. Forget that. It's just me and you. So we're opening up in the hips, which, if you are getting to terms with chakras or your, energy and things like that, this is great for the sacral chakra. So it's good for releasing emotions. It's good for creativity. It's good for feminine energy. Lots of different things. If you're a guy, doesn't mean you're going to turn into a woman by doing this pose. Let's try not to really bring genders into it, eh? We've all got feminine and masculine energy inside us. Okay, now take a load off. Take your hands to the outside edges of your knees and then gently bring them back in here, nice and slow. So if you're not used to that pose, don't hike them in. And then from there, I'd like you to bring one leg forward, and then you're going to cross the right leg over the left. So you bring in your left leg down, cross your right leg over the left, so your foot is just on the outside edge of your left knee or your left thigh. And then you're going to take your right elbow and you're going to hook it around your left elbow around your right knee. Take your opposite hand behind you, and then we are counterbalancing the stretch that we've just done here. So you should feel a little bit of a stretch here, or an activation in the outer hip now. So we're closing the hips off once again. If you want to, you can bring a little bit of a twist into it. So twist into the right as you draw your knee into the midline, into the center. And then gently ease off, come back to center, reset your legs, bring your right leg down, and then take your left foot, bring it to the outer edge of your right knee or your right thigh. Take your right elbow, hook it around the left leg, take your opposite hand behind you. You can either stay like this, drawing your knee into the midline, or you can bring a little bit of a twist into it. Won't stay here too long. Just as long as you can feel that stretch in the outer hip. And then come back to center. Okay, now let's see what time we're on. All right, so what I'd like you to do is we are gonna end the practice here. So one last pose. I would like you to come onto your back. And from there, I would like you to bring your knees in towards your chest. Give them a good hug. Rock a little bit side to side. So feel a massage in the back. Either side of the spine, those muscles that surround the spine here. And really invite some relaxation in. Feel that massage in different parts of your spine, depending on where your knees are. And then from there, I'm going to move down the mat a little bit because I'm conscious about those candles and my wild hair. So staying in this position, really inviting some relaxation in. And then from there, what I'd like you to do is to bring one leg up towards the ceiling, Give it a good hug. Bring your opposite leg down to the floor. So it doesn't matter which leg's here. I'm using my right leg to extend. I'm just going to bring a little bit of movement into the feet, keeping the right leg or whichever leg you've got extended bent nice and generously here with the knee. Feeling a good stretch through the hamstrings. So maybe you've got your toes back towards the knees here, or maybe you're pointing and flexing the toes, the ankles. If you like, you can not watch the video for a few moments and I'll just cue the movement with the sound of my voice. So feel free to just really breathe into the back of the leg here. Nice long inhales and steady exhales. One more long inhale and a steady exhale. And draw your right knee back in towards your chest. And then take an inhale, bring the knee back down. On your next exhale, swap the knee. So bringing that right knee in towards the chest and then up towards the ceiling. So we're stretching through the opposite hamstring now. Bring your toes back towards your knees, so a little bit of activation in the feet here. Or you can point and flex through the foot, whatever you did on the other side. See if you can do that on this side too, to keep everything balanced. So we're stretching through the back of the leg here, which is great for the spine, believe it or not. Tight hamstrings can translate into lower back pain. It can translate into misaligned hips. Pain in your knees, lots of different things. So invite that relaxation here. Close your eyes if you want to. And then bring your knee back in towards your chest. And then I'd like you to bring both legs down. So we're coming into Shavasana, or corpse pose. So feet are as wide as the mat here. Bring your arms out to the side at about a 45-degree angle. So think about the stillest you can be. That's the idea. Now this is one of the hardest poses in yoga, believe it or not. Not handstands, not, putting your legs behind your ears or anything like that. It's this one. Because it can be quite hard to switch off for a lot of people. And some days you might switch off and other days maybe not so much. But today let's invite some relaxation in. So if this pose doesn't feel that great, if you feel any tension in the lower back, feel free to instead bring your feet nice and wide and then bring your knees into the middle with your knees bent. Whatever feels good to you. And at this stage, I'd like you to just bring in some relaxed energy. So imagine that with every inhale, maybe you're allowing that inhale to travel up through your body from the feet all the way up to the top of your head. And then as you exhale, imagine exhaling from the top of your head all the way through your spine, down through your legs and out through the bottom of your feet. Inhale up through the body, up to the top of the head. And exhaling in the opposite direction, breath travels from the top of the head to the bottom of the feet. Imagine inhaling nourishing energy. Imagine exhaling any tension, toxicity, stagnation. Inhale, relaxation, healing, cleansing energy. Exhale, bring in relaxation. Feel the whole weight of your body relax, melting into the mat. Inhale, feel a stretch through the body. Exhale, feel that relaxation. Every single muscle in the body beginning to relax. Inhale and long exhales. Inhale into the belly and a long exhale out of the belly. And then do that to the time of your own breathing, just for a few moments here. Maybe you'd like to gently bring a little bit of movement into the neck here, release any remaining tension, maybe bringing one ear down to the mat, followed by the other. Closing the eyes if you haven't already. And allowing in some relaxation. Anytime your mind starts to wander, note that it's completely natural. It'll never stop, no matter how many times you do yoga. But what does change is that you don't become consumed by those thoughts and those emotions. You can then redirect your focus back to the breathing. So do that as many times as you need to. And when you're falling asleep tonight, you can do the same. So breathing into the belly and out of the belly. Maybe you count while you do so. Or maybe you just simply feel that up and down movement with the breath. The breath traveling one direction and then the other. And again, like I say, anytime your mind wanders, do not beat yourself up about it. It's completely natural. Just bring your focus back to the breath. How it feels as the breath enters the nostrils, travels down your throat into your lungs. And then how it feels as it moves in the opposite direction. Okay, so feel free now to stay here and relax in Shavasana, or roll over to one side, pause there for a moment, catch your bearings, and then when you're ready, push yourself up into a seated position. And when you get into that seated position, maybe you ground down through your hips, extend through the spine on an inhale. Maybe you'd like to bring your hands together at the heart to signify balance. That's what that means to me, as opposed to religion or anything else that, people might think that this pose means. To me, it means balance. It means balancing the parasympathetic nervous system with the sympathetic nervous system. It means balancing the left hemisphere of the brain with the right hemisphere of the brain. Masculine and feminine energies, myself and others, myself and nature. So take a nice long inhale, fill the belly, and a long exhale. Maybe you close the eyes, bow the head, and give yourself a thanks for today's practice. Sometimes the hardest part is actually getting onto the mat and doing it. And you know what? You've done it. So well done you. Fantastic. Thank you very much for joining me today. And hopefully I will see you in the next video. So have an amazing night's rest tonight. You can do it. If all else fails, make your exhale longer than your inhale. That's how you're connecting with the parasympathetic nervous system or the rest and digest response. Okay, so thank you for your time today. My name is Catherine and this is Metta Mind Muse. Feel free to subscribe to the channel, there'll be more videos to come. And I'm also on Facebook as well. and there is a website if you want any other services. Okay, take care and yeah, have a good one.